Hi there, welcome to another episode of What's Up AARP Wyoming. This is our monthly series where we talk about some of the things that we've been a part of during the previous month. This is our April edition, and then we're also going to talk about and highlight very briefly a couple of things that we have coming up in the month of May. The first thing that I wanted to highlight and talk a little bit about is our Lobby Day and our AARP Summit, which we hold in Washington, D.C. This year, our state president, Kate Saracey, myself, and Tom Laycock, who does some of our advocacy work, we headed out to Washington, D.C. to hold some meetings and also to meet with our members of Congress. We did something a little bit different this year than we usually do, and that was we did a Wyoming Wednesday, and this is where the three members of our congressional delegation will meet in sort of a reception setting. There were donuts and coffee, and they will visit with constituents and groups that come to D.C. to visit with them. We have the opportunity to talk about a few of our priority issues and meet with some of their staff to talk about those issues. It's a great opportunity to connect, and we appreciate the time that our congressional delegation put into meeting with us. We talked about just specifically some caregiving issues. This is becoming a higher profile issue as we move forward for our organization and for the country as a whole. We also talked about SNAP. This is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That is being reauthorized in the fall and as part of the Farm Bill, and so they're working on that, wanting to make sure that those that have food insecurity issues or are lower income are still have access to that program. And then lastly, we talked about the medical expense deduction. This was part of the tax overhaul that recently happened. It's set to expire. We asked them to next summer, unlike some of the other tax cuts, which are set to expire in 2 or 3 years. And so we asked our congressional delegation to keep that in place, and that's a real benefit for people with high medical costs. Next, I want to talk a little bit about some of the events that happened here in Wyoming. We were able to be part of some community health fairs in 3 different communities around Wyoming, in Gillette, in Grable, and in Casper. This is an opportunity for different organizations to get together and provide information about the services that they provide in the community, the resources that they are. In each of those community health fairs, we had members of our executive council. In Gillette, we had Billy Montgomery, who's one of the members of our executive council there, and he was at the table answering questions, handing out some information about the programs and offerings of AARP. In Grable, we had Jackie Martin, also a member of our executive council. And in Casper, we had Dave Huff, who's a member of the Executive Council, but also Barb Summers. And Barb is heading up our community action team in Casper. And they're doing a lot of work with some programmatic work that they're doing, with some fun events, but she was there as well. And again, this is just an opportunity for us to show up in the community, to provide some information that's helpful to people, and these community fairs are a nice service that is offered in the local community. So I want to talk about just a couple of things that are happening in the upcoming month, in the month of May, and just really quickly highlight a couple of things that we'll be involved in. First, the Corporations Committee, the Legislative Committee, is meeting this month in Lander, Wyoming, and one of the issues that they're going to be looking at is the Wyoming Telecommunications Act. And this is what allows the Public Service Commission to regulate landline telephones. And this is all part of our CenturyLink case that I've talked about in previous episodes of What's Up AARP Wyoming. So we will be there along with some of the customers, CenturyLink's customers, to talk about why it's important that the Public Service Commission keep oversight over CenturyLink during this time of transition. The other thing I wanted to highlight is we have some voter engagement work. As most of you know, this is an election year for us. There will be some contested races, and we're going to be there every step of the way. We're particularly looking at the governor's race, and we're going to do some video voter guides to provide our members in the state of Wyoming with information about issues that are important to AARP and where the candidates stand on those issues. And then lastly, we have our Volunteer Leadership Conference. We get all of our volunteers together twice a year to do some training, to do some networking, to sort of celebrate the work that we're doing. And so we're going to be in Casper. That's kind of a recap of some of the things that we were part of in the month of April and a highlight of some of the things that we're going to be doing in May. If you want to stay apprised of what's happening with AARP in Wyoming, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you can receive these updates so that they'll be in your feed. And so until next time, what's up AARP Wyoming?